You're watching NTC News, DeKalb County's only television news source, on the campus of Northern Illinois University and from the Northern Television Center. This is NTC News Tonight.
On a campus that has experienced more than its share of anxiety over guns, NI police have made a startling discovery. Good evening, I'm Taylor Burl. Thank you for joining us.
And I'm Sabrina Bennett. The university is telling us that officers have found an assault rifle, a handgun, and body armor inside a student's dormitory room. Police have arrested 29-year-old Kevin Owenga. Owenga is a mechanical engineering major and he has military training and service in the U.S. Army. We're told that a worker sorting mail here at Newhall West found a package with a return address label identifying a Texas-based firearms dealer specializing in assault weapons. Police were called in. They searched the student's room. Owenga has been charged with unlawful use and possession of firearms. Police say they don't think he was planning any violence.
That's what was illegal. There was nothing, we have no indication that there was a threat, that he was planning or plotting to do anything. He was just in possession of firearms when he wasn't supposed to be on campus.
He's free on $40,000 bail and he has been banned from NIU campus.
In an unrelated incident last night, a car crashed into the creek in front of Newhall East. Details are still unavailable, but here is what we do know. A girl driving a Toyota Celica may have been swerving out of the way of oncoming traffic on Annie Glidden Road. She veered off the road and crashed into the creek around 10 p.m. last night. She was taken to the hospital. As of right now, we do not know her condition.
DeKalb School District 428 plans on going paperless in order to use modern technology to teach in classrooms.
NTC News reporter Shaniqua Bryant is here with more details on the paperless method.
At Clinton Rosette Middle School, the students have different ways of learning than years ago. A program called One-to-One was implemented so that DeKalb School District 428 could receive funding for paperless technology. The main goal for the program is to provide modern technology in a classroom setting. Science teacher Roger Christensen at Clinton Rosette Middle School was one of the first in the district to use the Chromebook technology in class.
When the district found out that I had these, they thought it might be a good idea to use them as a pilot, because we've been talking about going one-to-one in the classroom where all students in the district would have some sort of device.
DeKalb officials say paperless devices will cut back on the cost of textbooks, whereas last year's textbooks cost about $700,000. Textbooks may still be available in classrooms for students who prefer the traditional teaching style. However, another goal for DeKalb School District 428 is to apply technology in order to cut back on the overuse of paper.
Using paper to teach in classrooms is becoming obsolete. Using technology such as computers is becoming the main method to teach the youth.
Multimedia has become more acceptable in classrooms to keep students engaged. As paper is often set to the side, students may better enhance their cognitive skills. Computerized teaching methods are becoming just as common as blackboards used in traditional classrooms. Some teachers at Clinton Rosette Middle School think it is a good idea to implement technology as a means to teach students in order to increase retention rates.
I think it's great because the biggest issue, or the biggest thing, is that this is how the students learn. This is what they're used to. They're used to their smartphones and their iPods and all their electronics, so it's very natural for them. So I think it's great transition for us as well as them.
The one-to-one program is still in the beginning stages of development. As time and technology advances, there hopes to be more modern devices provided for the students. I'm Shaniqua Bryant from NTC News.
Thanks, Shaniqua. On another note, the last video store standing in DeKalb has finally closed down. Last week, Blockbuster closed with the Dollar Video being shut down for over a year now. All we're left with is Redbox. With programs like Netflix and Hulu being more popular, the way we watch movies has changed. This, along with illegal pirating of movies, has led to a significant decrease in DVD and Blu-ray sales.
Feed 'em Soup has received a $1,000 grant thanks to their volunteers. Feed 'em Soup is a local soup kitchen that provides anyone in the community with hot meals. Allstate Foundation awards $2 million every year to nonprofit organizations. This year, Allstate recognized the local nonprofit with a grant for its commitment to helping others.
A small town is dealing with a big construction project.
NTC reporter Rachel Edwards has more on how the lives of people in the village of Kingston are being disrupted by a road project.
Closing the 5 Points Road Bridge will make getting around Kingston a little tough for local drivers. Because of severe deterioration and old age, the over 50-year-old bridge is being completely replaced. This project is so big that the entire bridge needs to be closed during construction.
The project is a substantial cost, about $2.5 million. Doing the project in phases, say half of the bridge at once and half of the bridge again, adds a ballpark number up to 50% extra cost.
Local drivers will have to take alternate routes around the construction until the project is completed.
Detour for drivers that normally travel on this road, the only ones that will really affect are those who live directly north of the bridge. It might take them 3 to 4 minutes longer to travel around construction. That's only because the county did not want them to travel on a road that was less quality than the normal 5 Points Road Bridge.
Kingston residents have also expressed their concern about response times of emergency vehicles with the road closure, but the county has made the detours on roads that are not too far from the bridge.
Unless you live within maybe a half a mile north of the bridge, your response time will not make a difference because of alternate routes that ambulances can come.
The county plans to continue work on the project all through winter if weather permits, meaning the project would be completed by early spring. For NTC News, I'm Rachel Edwards.
Maps of the detours can be found on DeKalb County Highway Department webpage.
Now, Brittany Merleau is here to tell us about the weather tomorrow.
Thanks, Taylor. Now, today I think has been absolutely beautiful out. I love the sun. A little chilly, a little breezy, but I can deal with it. It's better than the snow that we had on Monday. But let's take a look at tomorrow. We are going to be in the upper 40s, almost reaching 50 degrees. We're going to see sunny, beautiful skies all throughout the area. It's going to be a little bit breezy. We're going to see gusts up to 30 miles per hour in Chicago, 25 miles per hour in DeKalb. So it's going to feel a little bit colder, but temperatures are definitely on the rise. For more on this week's weather, and yes, even more of a warm-up, stay with us. You're watching NTC News Tonight.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Welcome back, everyone. We have made it halfway through the week. We survived the snow earlier this week, and the sun is shining. It's absolutely beautiful outside. We saw a high of 40 degrees today. A little chilly, but it's still pretty decent. Tonight, we're going to see a low of just 28 degrees. Let's take a look at this beautiful sky that we had today. This is out looking west at DeKalb. We saw beautiful skies, sun peeking out, a little bit of clouds, nothing too bad. It was beautiful out today, and definitely was a little bit breezy as well. We are also going to see that throughout tomorrow. We're going to see strong winds. In our area, we're going to see gusts up to about 30 miles per hour tomorrow, but through the rest of the area in this purple bubble, they're going to see gusts up to 40 miles per hour and also see some flight delays in this area. Now, Thursday through Sunday, good news, everyone. It is going to get warmer out, slowly but surely. Definitely nothing to write home about, but we are going to go up to the 50s, maybe even 60s, as this warm air from the Gulf pushes up into our area. We have a high-pressure system leaving us no clouds, beautiful skies, Thursday through Sunday, Now, by Monday, unfortunately, we are going to see cold Arctic air from Canada push down into our area. It's going to reach us about Monday. Sunday and Saturday, we might see some storms out ahead of this cold front in our area, but Monday it is going to start dropping down. Tonight for the football game, go Huskies. going to be mostly cloudy, breezy. It's going to be chilly out there, a low of 28 degrees. For the game, we're going to see temperatures in the 30s, so definitely bring those hand warmers, bundle up, get ready for the cold. And it's going to be gusty, again, 25 miles per hour. Tomorrow, sunny, beautiful skies, high of 47 as temperatures start to rise. Gusts are going to remain up to 25 miles per hour, like I had said earlier. And then in tomorrow night, partly cloudy, low of 34. Gusts are going to start to calm down a little bit, but it will still be breezy. Now looking at my 5-day forecast, sun, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, temperatures are going to start to pick up. So are the lows. We're going to see only a 3-degree temperature difference Saturday night. We're going to see a low of 51. Now that is when that cold front is going to push into our area. We're going to see showers on Sunday, possible thunderstorms on Sunday night. Monday we're going to see the sun come out a little bit, hopefully, but look at that, dropping down to 48 degrees as that cold front comes in our area. And we're going to see rain and snow mix possibly on Monday night, so it might be icy out on the roads. If you're going anywhere Monday night, I suggest to stay in. And that's it for weather. Let's send it back to the desk.
Illegal immigrants may be falling victim to scam artists.
And TV pitchman Kevin Trudeau is in jail. These are today's state lines.
Scam artists are trying to profit from a new law allowing illegal immigrants living in Illinois to apply for a driver's license. Attorney General Lisa Madigan says the only valid place to apply for such a driver's license is with the Secretary of State.
A federal judge in Chicago ordered marshals to jail TV pitchman Kevin Trudeau shortly after a jury found Trudeau guilty of criminal contempt. The case involves a 2004 order barring him from making false claims about his diet books. The judge said Trudeau was a potential flight risk.
5 University of Illinois students had to be decontaminated after a chemical reaction. The students inadvertently put hydrochloric acid into a waste container that contained nitric acid. At least one student was splattered when the chemicals reacted with each other.
The number of registered beekeepers in Illinois is on the rise. The state agricultural department says almost 700 beekeepers registered for the first time in the past year. The increase comes as the number of wild honeybees has seriously dropped because of pests and diseases. And those are today's state lines. The former U.S. President Clinton has some suggestions about Obamacare.
And aid to the Philippines continues. Here's what's happening in today's World Watch.
Former President Bill Clinton, who's a big supporter of Obamacare, says the president should let people keep their current insurance. The White House says President Obama agrees. There's about 2 weeks to go before the Obama administration's November 30th deadline for repairing website problems. And it now looks like that's not going to happen in time. In order to avoid a penalty for not having insurance, Americans must enroll by March 31st.
In Canada, the case of Toronto Mayor Rob Ford is getting stranger. Ford admitted last week that he had smoked crack cocaine in what he was called one of my drunken stupors. He is under fire to resign. However, instead, he is signing bobbleheads of himself. It was part of a charity drive unrelated to the personal problems. The dolls were selling for $20, but buyers have been auctioning them off on eBay for 15 times that much.
The American Heart Association says more Americans should be taking cholesterol-fighting drugs. Twice as many Americans could find themselves on statins under the new AMA guidelines. The new recommendations call for a focus on risk factors for high cholesterol and heart disease, rather than just actual cholesterol levels.
The scenes coming out of the Philippines are still shocking. New aerial video shows what remains of Tacloban City following that record-breaking typhoon. The place of aid flights is accelerating, but it's not fast enough to help the thousands of survivors in need of clean water, food, and shelter. Some cargo flights carrying medical supplies and doctors were able to land. And that's today's World Watch. The scenes coming from the Philippines are truly devastating, but not nearly as agonizing as they must be for Ray T.
Ray is a trainer coordinator for NIU International Training Office here on campus. And more to the point, you are a native Filipino whose family lives in the heart of the typhoon's path. You've been watching these pictures more closely than anyone here. So tell us, is your family okay? Tell us what you're hearing. How are you getting the word back to what's going on in the area?
My mom is from Leyte. That's the hardest hit region in the Philippines. It's in the central part of the country facing the Pacific Ocean. I was scouring the news and social media since Thursday here, and it's Friday there. And sources of information I got were one, the network news, like, all of it, CNN, ABC, NBC, MSNBC, and Democracy Now!, all of it. And secondly, the French news sources, Journal de Genève, Le Monde Diplomatique, Nouvel Observateur, and all of those. And thirdly, Philippine news and TV, they're all available online. So I get a sense of different coverage, like BBC covers the news differently from Libération.
Have you been in contact with your family, and how have you, if you have been?
Yeah, I have since Thursday, trying to contact all of my relatives who are in the diaspora and outside of Leyte. For instance, I have relatives in Manila, where I was born and raised. It's the capital of the country, and Cebu, it's another island. There are 7,100 islands in the Philippines. And I have family in Canada. We're all trying to contact directly our relatives in Leyte itself, but we were not able to.
I was just going to ask that, like, how are they getting communication out? How are they?
Well, since the storm came on Friday, Philippine time, there was power outage even before then. As a proactive measure by the government, because all of our power lines are above ground, and there was very strong wind, 195 miles per hour wind, and there's no power as of this time, as far as I know. So word couldn't get out. There's some hotels which have their own generators, and they let people just come in and plug in their cell phones.
Okay, so that's how they're getting the communication out, their cell phones?
Do you know how they're doing now?
And finally, as of last night, I was able to get communication from my family, and I should say the majority of whom are fine. I have a couple who might have perished in the flood. One family, my relatives, 2 of their kids have survived. I still have one cousin who's missing, and some people have damaged residences, and I still have no idea where some of my relatives are. They live in the heart of Tacloban, where we're not able to establish.
Can we just kind of look ahead into the future and kind of give us a kind of a grasp understanding of what's going to happen? How does the future look for the situation?
Well, if I were to look at Haiti, Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Sandy, this will take a long time. Haiti has been around. People have been appealing for donation. They were not slowly just trickling in. And Katrina, up to now, it's still in a period of rehabilitation. There's a lot of problem, and it will take a long time.
Tell us about the area that actually hit the typhoon.
Well, the typhoon was a product of what I would call the unholy trinity. You have the storm surge, you have strong winds, and then you have torrential rain. So at the time during which the typhoon came, there was no light. People were all scrambling for shelter in the dark, and the whole city of Tacloban is just flattened, literally.
Well, we know, like, how your family is doing is the most important thing to you right now. So how does it feel when you look at these pictures?
Well, looking at the picture, I can have a general sense of despair. However, in the past few days, since Thursday till last night, I didn't know how to feel because I didn't know where my family members were. I couldn't even mourn because I didn't know if they were dead. But now there's unconfirmed news that 2 of my relatives might have perished, and they're still missing family. So it's a very gloomy situation right now.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Ryan T. We appreciate your visit.
Thank you so much.
So please know that your prayers are with us and your family, and we hope everything works out.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The day is finally here, the biggest MAC game so far this season. NIU puts their 15th BCS ranking on the line tonight on ESPN2. I'm Eli Gehn for NTC Sports, coming to you today from Husky Stadium. Now, right now behind me, it's a little quiet. It's windy. But once 6 p.m., 7 p.m. comes around, that's when this field will get electric, as NIU is set to take on Ball State for the battle of the Bronze Stalk Trophy, but more importantly, for the top of the MAC West standings. Ball State comes into DeKalb, half game up on NIU in the West. Ball State 6-0, NIU is 5-0. And if the Cardinals win tonight, they clinch a MAC championship berth. Now, this game features the two best quarterbacks in the conference for NIU. Of course, Jordan Lynch keeping up his Heisman-like performance this year. Nearly 2,000 yards passing through the air, over 1,000 yards on the ground, 32 total touchdowns. But on the other side, Ball State has a pretty good quarterback. It's Keith Wenning, the senior. He is 4th right now in the country in passing yards, 27 touchdowns through the air compared to only 5 interceptions. The best quarterback NIU's defense will see this season by far. And some other offensive weapons for Ball State. Not only can they put up points through the air, they have a good set of running backs. Jawan Edwards and Horatio Banks, both over 600 yards rushing this season with a combined total of 19 touchdowns. Now, even though it's NIU's biggest contest this season, Husky Stadium is not expected to be sold out tonight. Now, in order to make the place look a little more crowded, the Husky Athletics office decided to put tarps up on the student section right up here to my left. Now, they've usually done this every year for about a game or two, but this year it's going to be a little bit different. Now, including some of the cool tarp logos that are on top of the student section. As you can see on the north and south side, there is an NIU logo, and right in the middle are the bright blue eyes of the NIU Husky staring down right over the sideline of the Ball State Cardinals, so it should look pretty good on ESPN this evening. If you watch the game on Monday between the Bulls and the Cavaliers, Derrick Rose is day-to-day with a partially injured hamstring. It's expected to be nothing too serious. The Bulls will bounce back and be on the court on the road on Friday when they take on the Toronto Raptors. But that doesn't mean last night there was some NBA prospects playing at the United Center, the home of the Chicago Bulls, for the Champions Classic. The top 2 college recruits took the stage last night. Andrew Wiggins of Kansas and Chicago native Jabari Parker. Kansas versus Duke. First half, Jamari Taylor with a nice feed to Wiggins, who throws it down, gives the Jayhawks a 10-9 lead early. But Jabari Parker, what a night for him. Great defense. After the steal, goes coast to coast and makes the beautiful lay-in through 3 defenders. 19 first-half points for Parker. And then in the second half, Parker goes up for the alley-oop. Slams it home with the one-handed dunk. Parker finished with 27 points and 9 boards, but it was Wiggins and the Jayhawks who take the win. Wiggins finished with 22 points and 10 rebounds. An exciting night for these 2 young prospects. And in women's hoops, NIU took down Mississippi Valley State 79-60. 4 Huskies finished in double figures, with Naticia Augusta leading the way with a double-double, 17 points and 11 rebounds. And hopefully you stick around this weekend. Volleyball has its last home matches this weekend against Ball State on Friday night at 6 p.m. for Military Appreciation Night. And then Saturday they're back on Victor E. Court to take on Toledo. That game is also at 6 p.m. and it will be senior night for the Huskies, so hopefully you can go and support them. And only hours away from game time here at Husky Stadium. So if you don't have class, you might as well come out here and root on the Huskies. That's all I have out here in this cold weather. The wind's blowing my hair around. I'm getting a little chilly. I'm going to head back over to the studio because that's where you guys are. So let's send it back to you guys right in the news studio.
Thanks, Eli. And ladies, you might want to pay attention to how your guy's walking when you're holding hands. We'll explain when we get back.
Hi, my name's CJ. A few years ago, my father became seriously ill. I did what I could do before he passed, but it took its toll. I lost my job, my house. I'm getting back on my feet, but I don't know when there'll be food on the table. How'd I do, CJ?
We could be twins.
Well, cousins, maybe.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
A new study suggests that men start walking slower when they're in love. Scientists in Seattle asked 22 people to walk around a track alone, with a partner, and with the members of the same and opposite sex. They found that when they were walking with a significant other, men slowed their pace to match the females. Scientists say that this bonding moment didn't happen with other pairings. Well, that just shows that women are definitely in control of relationships, I have to say.
Whatever.
I'll have
Whatever.
to pay attention the next time I'm out with my boyfriend.
Yeah, okay, guys. Whatever. I'm representing all the men up here.
No.
I'm just kidding. Women do have a lot of hold on their relationships.
Well,
so I'll
that's all
give
for
you
us
guys that.
here today. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll be back the same time Monday. Thanks for watching.
Good night, everybody.